welcome to a new edition of our show, Money Means Business. And as we always say, business means money, stability in business, and a lot more mean a lot of money. We're still in the shadow of the COVID-19 and the repercussions of the COVID-19, but everybody is right now, the best decision is to live as if it subsided, to just recuperate life and the economies and everything. Well, we are talking today about ports, what's happening in ports, what should be done in ports, what's happening in Egypt, and especially that in a few days' time, the 6th of August, we are celebrating the Suez Canal, especially the new Suez Canal. Well, we have with us our guest who's going to be talking a lot about that and an expansion. We have with us Engineer Shireen Nagar, who is the International Transport Consultant. Welcome, sir, with us.
Good evening to you. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure having you. Well, there's a lot actually in this let's say category of, if we want to talk about transport, we want to talk about harbors, we want to talk about that. Well, you're the one, who's the expert on that, of course, definitely. Well, we were talking about developing maritime hubs and maritime industries and arsenals, harbors overall. What's going on in this situation?
Well, if you want to talk about a hub, a maritime hub, Egypt actually stands to become the world's largest maritime hub. Look at the Suez Canal. Today we're having a traffic volume of close to 19,000 ships. How many ships are calling various Egyptian ports? Egyptian ports are being developed. And all this needs to be more and more elaborated and more expanded in order to get to the stage where we can say, right, here we are an international, a major international maritime hub. Our geographical location certainly qualifies us for that, yet we still have quite a long distance to travel before we actually get there, if you see what I mean. If you talk about harbors or ports, ports are of course essential. Ports are our borders, they are our maritime borders. And ports are not just a port where you have a breakwater, a few berths and a couple of cranes to discharge a cargo. No, it's a lot more than that. The port facilities need to be very extensive. They need to be very diversified. For example, if we look at a ship coming into port, generally a ship will come to undergo cargo operations, either discharge cargo or load the cargo. That is one aspect of the operation. But look at when you have a ship, the ship's needs actually. There is crew on board, and that crew might need medical attention. Somebody might be sick. COVID-19, for example, is a genuine nuisance to everybody on board ships. Then you need medical facilities ashore to support proper medication. Of course, also other diseases, like, for example, some seafarers can get depressed, they can get very anxious to go ashore and so on. So they might suffer some physical consequences, some medical consequences as a result of that. This is the second thing. So you need a good medical support. Crew change in itself, Egypt actually has pioneered the crew change activity. I don't think anywhere in the world is conducting crew changes as smooth as they are being conducted in Egypt, especially in the Suez Canal. And that is something very important for a seafarer to know, that he is going to get into the Suez Canal, and if he requests repatriation, he will get it, and he will be repatriated. He will go back home to see his family. This is extremely important. Of course, all other Egyptian ports are on the same frequency, and they have followed suit. It all started by the Suez Canal Authority, and now all Egyptian ports are following suit. It is becoming very easy to come, even if you have an infection or you need to be quarantined or something. All Egyptian ports are ready for it, and they do it with their eyes closed, basically, and at no risk whatsoever. So this is another aspect. Come to the needs of the ship itself, for example, repairs. There are several types of repairs. If you look at repairs afloat, say I need to repair a pump or you need to repair a generator or whatever on board the ship, facilities need to be there. Recently, Alexandria Shipyard has received a massive facelift. It has become from a very old-fashioned and very, well, I would say trouble-making facility in Egypt. It has become a major repair center. It is capable of repairing any type of ship. Of course, the size is slightly restricted. We cannot handle the big super tankers or the big bulk carriers, obviously because of the space limitations in Egypt. But the capability of handling steelwork, capability of handling mechanical work, it is all very advanced, and it is very well managed, and it's very well run. And the proof of that is they have so far delivered 2 Go-Wind frigates to the Egyptian Navy. So it only shows that this facility is capable of building highly sophisticated ships, and is capable also of repairing any type of ships. Of course, you also have other facilities in Alexandria, like the Egyptian Ship Repair and Shipbuilding Yard, under the same leadership. And you also have the Naval Shipyard, and all 3 are being managed harmonically by a single entity, and they are functioning extremely well. But again, as I always say, we are lacking international public relations. Not many people know about this facility, and that is why we have just extended an invitation to the Egyptian authorities to join us in the London International Shipping Week event on the 13th of September, the world's largest ship gathering, where everybody involved with shipping and offshore is present, and that would be an excellent opportunity for all the participants in Egyptian shipping to tell the world what is happening in Egypt. This is extremely important. So this is all on all facilities generally in Egypt. Of course, there's cargo handling facilities, there are container terminals, ship supplies. Now we have started once again, after several years of absence in the bunkering market, we are now starting to provide ships with fuel and all types of various bunkers, lubricating oils. So the whole situation is improving, and it is getting to a much higher standard. It matches the international standards, no question about that, but it does not match the international standards when it comes to PR and proper advertising.
Exactly. And this is very important, PR and proper advertising, because well, all that work and development should be really getting its dues, and it should be really well known to everybody what it presents.
Absolutely, and actually this has been a critic from everybody involved in the international maritime world. They always say, well, the Suez Canal Authority, for example, what are you doing? Oh, there's a new canal come up. Nobody told us there's going to be a new canal coming up. It's only we came over here to attend the celebration.
Then they discovered it.
And then there's another thing. They say, oh, well, this you also have a link with the thing. There's 1 tunnel under the canal. I said, no, there are 6 tunnels under the canal.
Yeah.
When did they come up? You see, this is the thing that we need to tell the world.
Yeah.
No, there are links to that link Sinai with the mainland, and they are all under the Suez Canal.
Yeah.
They are very highly sophisticated, very highly advanced, and they are new. They have been very well built. So this is the kind of thing we need to tell the world. Okay, if I go up, for example, as a ship owner, I will go up and discharge cargo in a port like El Arish, for example, and I need to move that cargo into the mainland, out from Sinai into the mainland. How do I do it? Oh, I can't do it because there's no way to move it, and you have to cross the canal with ferries and with barges and so on. No, but you got 6 tunnels. Oh, do we? We don't know. You see, this is something extremely important. It makes people shy away
Yeah.
from using various Egyptian ports.
That are presenting standard, world class services.
Exactly, exactly. That's extremely important to Egypt, that we need to be more internationally represented, which we unfortunately we are not. And I mean, I would waste no chance in any conference to say, please, Egypt is rising. Egypt is a giant on the Nile, and it's not just the Nile. Okay, we have our own problems with the Nile these days, but that's another issue. But what I'm trying to say is that no, Egypt is the Nile, and Egypt is the symbol of the Nile.
Yeah.
And the same way there has been a massive civilization 7,000 years ago, this civilization, the dawn is coming back.
Yeah.
And the sun is rising again, and dark days are gone, and we are coming up. So come to the world. I invite the Egyptian government, the Egyptian officials, the Suez Canal officials, everybody to go out on various conferences like the London International Shipping Week or the Europe International Shipping Week. There are many of those conferences, but go to the major one and go out there. Let us all go and tell the world, wake up to what Egypt is doing, because Egypt is doing a lot.
Yeah, true, true. We're going to a short break, after which we'll be coming back and resuming our show. Stay tuned to us, don't go away.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi discussed the development of the marine industry system and plans for technological development needed by the strategic industry. This came during President el-Sisi's reception of Peter Lursen, owner and chairperson of the German International Maritime Industries Group, Lursen, in the presence of Lieutenant General Ahmed Khalid, commander of the Naval Forces, Major General Mohammed Shrabi, head of the Naval Armament Division, and Colonel Mohammed Al-Makhzangi of the Naval Forces Command. Ambassador Bassam Radi, the spokesperson of the presidency, stated that the meeting dealt with discussions on developing the maritime industry system and plans for technological development needed by this industry. It's worth mentioning that Egypt seeks to upgrade all aspects of work in the field of the maritime industry and shipbuilding, and to reach the highest modern technologies, and all these requirements, and also the comprehensive development in the training and qualification of manpower, including engineers and technicians. On the other hand, President Sisi received John Daniel, owner and director of the Belgian Donald Group for Marine Business, Engineering and Dredging, in the presence of Lieutenant General Ahmed Khalid, the commander of the Navy, and a group of leaders of the armed forces. The meeting discussed aspects of benefiting from the long experience of the Belgian Donald Group of companies in the various maritime business fields in the Mediterranean and Red Bahrain, in addition to the promising opportunities that Egypt possesses in this field. President Sisi also discussed the development of the marine industry system and plans for technological development needed. The official spokesperson stated that the meeting discussed the development of the marine industry system and the plans for technological developments.
We're back again to Money Means Business, and with our guest engineer, Sherry Nagar. Well, there are foreign service companies that come to Egypt here. Is it advisable to give them, a free hand?
With all due respect to everybody, so in international chains of ship services, no. Because we need to be first treated on equal basis. If I, as an Egyptian, or not me as a person, but any Egyptian, wants to go and for tourism, not even business, to anywhere in Europe or in in the West, he will have to go through agony to get a visa, and he will be questioned, a lot of questions at the borders when he gets there. whereas a foreigner will come over here and buy a stamp for $15 and come over and do whatever he likes. This is to welcome tourism, yes, fine and everything, but when it comes to business, to allow foreign people, foreign service companies to come in and build up and establish their companies over here without investing money in Egypt, then this is a drain of foreign currency. Because most of these companies, they come in and they say, okay, we're investing. What are you investing in? Ships are coming to go through the Suez Canal anyway. Ships are going to come and call Egyptian ports anyway. So why should they use a foreign agency, not a local agency, not an Egyptian agency? This is one. For services, and they get supplies for provisions or bunkers or whatever. Well, there are plenty of Egyptian companies that can do that. Why should a foreigner come over here and all the profit, instead of being retained in Egypt, it is taken outside Egypt? The services, I am definitely, and I'm expressing my personal, and I think I'm also expressing the opinion of all the private sector companies, that no, there should not be services companies. If you want to come over to Egypt, then come and invest money. Don't come and rent a couple of offices and hire a few people on short term, and at the end of the day you are making the money, and the money is not even coming into Egypt, it's going outside Egypt. And you're just giving peanuts to the Egyptian suppliers. This is unfair. If we...
They're not needed, actually. You know, why should...
They are not needed.
Exactly. How come they juxtapose themselves in the middle when they are not needed, and make a place for them in something, in an organization or a system that does not require them, really, does not need them?
Well, you see, this is a big mistake that has been made in law number 198, and law 198 has not been corrected yet. It allowed everybody to come in and operate as an Egyptian. They have the same rights as Egyptians, although even some of them have even privileges, because they are suddenly foreign companies, and they are investors, and they call themselves investors, and they are not investing anything. I mean, I know an investor will come in with a sack of money and give it to the Egyptian government, say, look, I'm going to spend this amount of money and I'm going to do that. And I promise I'm going to deliver. But what we are doing here, unfortunately, in the maritime transport sector, we have made a major flop of foreign investors. Also, with shipping companies coming over to Egypt and claiming to be investing money, and they're not investing anything, but we are actually losing millions. And millions and millions are not coming into the Egyptian budget, they're not coming into the Egyptian monetary system, simply because they are being automatically siphoned outside Egypt. You don't even see the money.
It's a waste of money, it's a waste of everything. Yeah.
It is a waste of money. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
If you look at an agency, for example, an agent makes his money on three main items. Booking commission, agency fees, and local charges. Local charges are in Egyptian pounds. Booking commission are in foreign currency, and they are paid by the line or paid by the client. And agency fees are paid by the ship owner, the owner of the ship, and they are both in hard currency. Now, if I'm sitting abroad and I have my own office sitting in Egypt, why should I go and transfer hard currency into Egypt? I'll keep it over here, and I get my foreign office or my Egyptian branch to depend entirely on local currency. And when depending on local currency, if they make up a lot of money, then I have a surplus of Egyptian pounds. What do? I go out and I transfer it into dollars, and also it goes abroad, because I don't need it in Egypt. What have they invested? An office, a few desks? Come on. This is definitely not a feasible proposition. And unfortunately, there are many examples. I would not quote names, but there are many examples which are currently operating in Egypt this way, and we are losing millions, and we are losing millions above millions every single year because of this structure. Yeah,
and we have 2 minutes to go. Time flies. It's advisable to get containers companies also to get concessions on Egyptian soil here or in ports.
The same applies for container carriers, because a container carrier is a mega carrier. They have their own forwarding, they have their own trucking, they have their own everything. So why should they use any Egyptians? They go and buy their own stuff, and they dictate terms, they dictate their tariff, and especially because we have, at the moment, you have a bit of a disorganization. We don't have a standard national tariff which everybody applies. It is haywire. Everybody will apply the tariff he feels correct, he feels right. We don't have a standard national tariff for all Egyptian ports, for all the charges of stevedoring, for landing charges, for trucking, for barging, anything. No, we don't have it. It is you and how bright and how clever you are if you can negotiate a good rate or not negotiate a good rate.
Unfortunately. We hope that all that will be remedied, and I think right now with the changes that are happening in ports and the organizations, hopefully that will happen soon. Engineer Sri Lanka, thank you very much for being with us. It's always a pleasure having you. We apologize for the fast time, also flying because of the conference that was on air, so it took part of our show. But we'll have more recuperate the facts and developments that are taking place in the transport and shipping world. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
As for you, we'll see you again next week. As for now, God bless Egypt, God bless Egyptians, God bless our president, our army, our white army, our police, and as we quote from the Holy Quran, ادخلوا مصر إن شاء الله آمنين, enter Egypt, God willing, safe, and from the Holy Bible, Mubarak, Sha'bi Misr, blessed be Egypt, my people. I'm Nermin Nazim signing off. Goodbye for now.